I can hear you. Who goes there? It's shiny, sure. Waving around. Normally I throw you. But you. You mean you found. Interesting. I see. All right. So. Ask them. We're going. And went that way. Oh. It's just a. The war. The last. At the beginning, yes. But Arthur gave them. They were supposed to watch the giant, but no. I've always thought Avalon would be better. But that didn't work, so. That's exactly why we need. You do know that the lighthouse of the Horns of the South works like a giant. As for how the Dalrita feel about. That was the plan. It's my job, but the Dal. I know what people say about me, but I believe that only decisive action. It's the only way. The one on the left was questioning my order. They are. The one on the right, it wasn't. Marvelous. I can hear. It's waving normal, but you. You mean you. The one it wasn't. Ask them. We're at that. It. At the big Arthur, there was a. But no, I've always that it. That was but the. Azra. I know, but I believe it's the. Ask them. Marvelous.
Strike you down. I will be your downfall. You'll pay for that insult.
I will be your downfall.
Take care out.
Eyes forward and mind your step.
Stay out of my way.
Could use some action. Acting like a fool won't get you far around here.
If nothing happens by nightfall, I'm starting a brawl.
Oh, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode? Glad you asked. By completing my request, but I'm not naive enough to think everyone will suddenly... We need something stronger. Once the Keepers see... No, the Horns of the South will stay. But since Camelot might try to reclaim them, we'll need support. In return for their help, I promised One Eye that he and his people... that man's hard-headed. It's going to be tough to bring him round to our cause. If my proof doesn't convince him, we'll send it with fear gas. Proof that Camelot is rotten to the core, and that allying with... I didn't plan to tell you. But my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you. You don't have to if you don't want to. You're free to go. But I can tell you care about the fate of the South. And this is the greatest secret you could uncover. Here. Take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Sewell's crypt. Everyone knows the story of how the evil druid sealed and flooded the place. It's true. At least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Camelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret. Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise. I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded. I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Four Dwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And yet, I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
Are not him. You are different. The Dalriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask. I am Seawall Firstfoot, the one who scouted the land before the traitor Arthur set foot on it. Yes, it is my legacy. The jewel of the South, the safe haven of honorable men. I've been here for so long. It doesn't matter anymore. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him. Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten. Their loyalty abused. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal. We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot, avenge the memory of all my brothers. Camelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. But when Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world. Let the dead leave this one. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free.
And? What do you think? So, look at it this way. Seawall, the founder of the famous stronghold in the south, Archer's legendary aide and his trusted friend, in reality, meant nothing to him. I feel bad for him when I think about it, you know? 600 years spent in a tomb, fully aware. Huh. But why does it matter? Perhaps it doesn't matter to you or me, but there are people who will be shattered by it. It'll open their eyes and disprove everything they believed in until now. I couldn't come up with it if I tried. And I didn't even have to try, because it's all true. To some extent, at least. Well, maybe not. But who cares what actually happened? Huh? At first glance, it's proof enough of how corrupt, how Arthur used his most loyal friend, the founder of the Horns of the South, for his own gain. How he doomed him to eternal suffering. Who cares if it's true? Can't you see how powerful this message is? Even if it's just a fable, is it a different fable than the one we've already been told? Huh? It's definitely more powerful than all the hogwash we've been fed all these years. Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck. And somehow, You unwittingly became the most important person in the region because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this? Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas, get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let...
Stay out of my way. Oh, really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead. Surprise me. Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor. Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably. This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change. I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Seawall is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot? Everything we believed was a lie. You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain. Any ideas? It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
If nothing happens soon, I'll start to miss it.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas? Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Orns. Nicely done. Now, I'll get One Eye, and together we'll go to the Orns with the good news. Not everybody will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the south. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them. Brothers, today marks a new chapter in the history of the Horn to the south. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty. I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead. Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take. You're probably wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I didn't share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Orns of the South and the Dal Riada tribes, we are securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dal Riada fight in the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before. An honest matter. What do you need? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the Horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using, only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses. I only know that you need to sound the gong. If you wake up, I mean, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first, you'll need to find a way to fix it. And fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe it's your risk. Well, I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so well, that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were changed, and none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there. Then you'll have to find someone. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything... do what I've always done. Adapt, compromise, survive. Trust isn't a luxury we have right now. We understand enough. They can fight. They're quick to learn the land, and they're just as desperate to survive as we are. And they don't really have a choice. Their enemies are our enemies now. If they turn on us, they'll still have to face Camelot's anger, and they stand a better chance with us than without. His self-preservation's a stronger glue than any oath or banner. We'll figure out the rest later, or we won't. But at least we'll know the outcome, because we'll still be alive. Then they'll be free to leave the keep and die stubborn. But I've seen enough to know this. When the enemy's knocking at the gates, old grudges turn to dust. Survival makes allies out of everyone. Oh well, dead men tell no tales, eh? But maybe, just maybe, it was also about breaking this damn cycle of mistrust and division. We can't afford to be splitting the world into us and them. That road always leads to the grave. See what's happened already? Camelot's fractured into political factions, waging a war against itself, just like the tribes they claim to be superior to. Everyone's at each other's throats. It's as if they didn't realize that the weirdness won't wait until they come to their senses before it bites them in the ass. All I can tell you right now is that we'll burn that bridge when we get... I have my suspicions, but Feargas isn't blind. He's just loyal to a world that's already dead. He'll either see the truth, or he'll break himself trying to cling to the ashes. That's his choice, not mine. It means they lose a damn good man. But if his loyalty to old ideals runs deeper than his loyalty to the fight ahead, then maybe it's for the best.
Riordan's back, and with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. And obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to, if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No. We can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom. For Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal. But if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom. And you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. to find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them. Wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices, but seeing him...
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Sewell, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Sewell was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive? You've seen what they did. What he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this. Once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you, or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing. The weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
It's nice to have a break.
hands were made to serve the king, not rot in idleness. This emptiness, I cannot bear it. I threw myself into nothing, and nothing is what I became. Nothing without my king. Nothing without my blade. I died a traitor's death, trampled and torn apart. Fitting. So very fitting. I thought that would be enough. But I failed him in life. How could one measly death be my absolution? I couldn't. I can't. I clawed my way out of the abyss, but came back empty-handed. No. Don't speak that name. It's a traitor's name, hateful and vile. Let it be cursed. Let it be forgotten. Arthur? No, please. He cannot see me like this. He mustn't be made to look at me. My blade. My erendite. It remained behind. In the abyss. Deep in the weirdness. I cannot face my king without it. My sword belongs to him, as do I. But without it, I am nothing. I cannot kneel before him and offer him nothing. Everything I touch turns into ash. Erendite. Oh, how I long to hold it again. weight of it in my hand makes me feel almost whole again. Like I might be worthy. Like maybe not everything was lost. I know I am. But even the dead can serve. Better than the living sometimes. I have nothing to fear, and nothing to lose. The only burden I carry is regret. The only thing I seek is absolution. No. I know. I feel that he's with you. But there's nothing I could say to him. I won't beg forgiveness for my betrayal. I don't even know what I fear more. His mercy or his scorn. Please, as his closest confidant, take my blade. And I beg you, let me serve you and Arthur on your journey. Let me prove my devotion, my remorse, not with words, but with deeds. Let me earn his trust again. This is all I ask.
Your Majesty, it's an honor to have you among us again. Thank you for helping me find my way back to your knight. I regret not doing a better job of guarding him. My name is Fiona. I am here on behalf of the Royal Geographers. I was sent to do, well, quite a lot of work, actually. And as useful as it would be, the wordness never blessed me with an extra set of hands. Say, traveler, how would you feel about joining the oldest, most prestigious guild in Avalon? Oh, but you've already done the most important thing. You found what was lost and opened a new path. What better way to prove yourself as a true geographer in the making? I'm a Pict. I can sense the wordness and the spirits within it. I knew you weren't alone when I saw you emerge. The soul you carry, however weak it may appear, is deeply connected to the wordness and to Avalon itself. Souls like that are rare. Besides, only the one who wields the power of Excalibur within could open this tomb, and that is rarer still. Yet you use our maps, don't you? Our work is vital, but often unseen. For centuries we've roamed this island, charting its every corner and noting the dangers that unsuspecting travelers might face. You should be more appreciative, you know. Avalon's nature is ever-shifting, ever-changing. The wordness transforms not only living beings, but the land itself. Some places become unreachable, while others that appear are new to us. And there are those that have been forgotten, waiting to be rediscovered and brought into the light. Why wouldn't they? My kin are familiar with the wordness in a way others can't be. With the fog thickening, we can reach places that have become inaccessible to most. What is King Arthur without his faithful knights? Merely half a legend, if not less. They thrive by his side, and he thrives by theirs. And Avalon's foundations only grow stronger because of it. Sir Lancelot carries centuries of grief, and only serving his king once more can ease it. Everything. Our most important mission is preservation of Avalon and the pillars it was built on. We were sworn to protect the tombs of the first knights, but they were lost to us. There were rumors that the tombs were sealed, and only King Arthur could open them. Turns out, the rumor was true after all. I appreciate your eagerness, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The other tombs are scattered across Avalon, hidden and sealed, waiting for the one who can call the knights back. Let your soul guide you. Find them, and I will find you. Go well, traveler. There are more souls still waiting to be found.
I hope you found what you were looking for. I read...
is everything always such a hassle? You got a problem?
I cannot say for certain. My memory remains. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it. Something lingers beyond this gate. We'll find the truth soon enough. It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals. Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, that the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, but he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth, our last push before the weirdness took the... Then it came. Not a beast, not a man. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name, not killed, Not struck down, just gone. Oh, Lancelot. It was painful to watch what became of him. Confident, steadfast, eloquent. Nothing like the tormented soul you've seen. He was admired by the people and by his fellow knights. He had quite the following, though he never seemed to care for it. He was also much sought after. Left a trail of broken hearts wherever he went. But there was only one he ever held. I always believed Lancelot to be honest to a fault. He never hesitated to speak his mind. And I valued that in him as much as his loyalty. I trusted him completely. And I thought his faith in me, in my vision for Avalon, but it wasn't. I don't know when or how that trust was lost. And to this day, it still pains me. But know this, even in betrayal, Lancelot never sought to serve himself. He was a good man. Yet even the best of men can falter and lose their way. I forgave him long ago. What saddens me, but I understand why. The rebellion he led hurt not only me, it wounded all of Avalon. And Lancelot always hated to be the cause of so much suffering. Perhaps fighting by our side will... That's a question better suited for Merlin. I always thought it was where his druids got drunk and danced naked and gave me an entire lecture about the delicate balance of... That, he claimed, was what the Cromlechs were meant to be. The heart of their power. Still, he never invited me to any of their celebrations. He always did hate when I was right. Not much. I never encountered one myself. Mist-bearers, like most creatures on this island, emerged from the weirdness. They were always drawn to magic. Merlin forbade his apprentices from hunting them. Druids were too valuable to our war effort to be distracted by such pursuits, and they were meant to catch. What became of them after the war, I do not know. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war, and this proves that I sought and I trusted him enough to carry that. This must count for some. Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains. I heard rumors. The Delrita chieftains spoke among themselves, yet when I asked, it seems their brotherhood has found a way to bend the weirdness to their will. If you have the chance to learn from them, do so. We need every...